going, ha, yeah. Hello and welcome to the first Combat Carper how-to, and for this edition we're going to be looking at the illusion rig. Now the illusion rig is a rig that I've started using just over a year ago, and it's absolutely transformed how I go about fishing on the bottom. You can use it in a wafter presentation or with a straight out of the bag bottom bait rig, and it's absolutely perfect for doing so because it combines a really long boom with a nice big hook, and if you use the right hook bait it will critically balance it so that the rig will naturally gently flutter over to all sorts of lake topography. Now whether that be silt, gravel or even low line weed, you can use in all these situations. It's really simple to tie, so let's have a look at how we do it. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need is a fluorocarbon to create the boom. I like to use a 19-pound Fox Illusion. It sinks like an absolute stone. It's got brilliant abrasion properties. You don't really want to use a mono for this job because it won't sink as well as using a fluorocarbon. You want to cut yourself off about 16 inches. This rig tray is 12 inches long. The rig's not going to be quite that long, it'll be about 12 inches. It just gives you plenty of room to cut the rig. Get rid of that, don't need that anymore. Next is your hook. I always like to use a nice big hook. These are the size 4 quarter wide gates. And if you're ever unsure as to what hook to use, always use a wide gate beak point, because these will just get you out of trouble and you can use them for nearly every situation going. Now what you want to do is just push one end of the boom through the back of the hook so the tag end will be coming down the shank, and then pinch that in place. You're then going to grip the other end and going to go around the shank 13 times. Make sure you keep it tight. Okay, and once that's done, same end is going to go through the eye of the hook towards the hook point. Make sure you keep everything pinched in place and then just pull it tight like so. Now it's essentially a knotless knot, and that's not going to go anywhere. You can tie this in a illusion D presentation where you have a big D there. I just find this way much easier to tie. I'm just going to cut off the tag end. Next we need to add a ring swivel. This is what you're going to mount your hook bait on. Just pop that round there. And then a hook bead. Now the hook bead, when you put it on, once you move it around the shank, wants to sit in line with the barb, like so. Next we're going to mount our hook bait. These are the PB wafters, the large size, and they've got me so many fish, these wafters I should say. It's just an absolutely fantastic hook bait. It smells absolutely lush, and they can keep them out there on the lake bed for close to 24 hours. They're really fantastically buoyant. Cut off a piece of floss. You're just going to pass that through the ring swivel, it says, while making an absolute hash of it. There we go. Just pop your hook bead onto the floss and pull it through. There we go. You're going to pull it down the ring swivel until the barrel of the ring swivel is hidden within the hook bait. Cut off the tag end and blob it down. Okay, there we go. Lovely. Next, this is completely optional. I like to add a small sinker to the rig. It's only because it's such a long rig, I don't want there to be potential for some of the hook link to be looped up on the bottom. It just eliminates that possibility so that everything's nice and flat. Like I say, these are the small ones, so it's not going to make a jot of difference when it comes to the buoyancy of the rig. Pass that down. And finally, you are just going to put on a large tail rubber and tie a figure of 8 loop on the end of the rig. Like I say, I want this rig to be about 12 inches long, so I'm just going to measure that on my board there and just tie a figure of 8 loop. You can tie them direct to the swivel, but I use quick change lead clips, and it just means that I can change the leads very quickly. Just give that a bit of a moisten, grab a couple of hook pullers, just pull the rig tight, cut off the tag end and move the tail rubber up, and there we go. That is it. It's such a super simple rig. And if you're ever confused as to what rig to use if you're going to be fishing on the bottom, there cannot be an easier rig to tie than this. You need minimal components and you can tie so many in advance, and it's caught me stacks of fish since I started using it about a year ago.